Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Reed Road Rambling. Insert clap here. Okay, today is episode number 1, and I have a special guest. It's my kid, Saffron Olive, better known as Seth. I know, wasn't this exciting? Okay, let me tell you a little bit about Seth. Seth is 40 years old. He's my eldest son, so he is the oldest of 9 kids. Try to imagine that one, okay? He is an MTG content creator. He works for MTG Goldfish. That means he works at home online. He puts many, many hours in every week. He does a great job at that. And Seth is just a great guy. And I ain't just saying that because he's my kid. You know, every mom's got to say that. But he is. He's a genuine great guy. What you see on his streams and his podcast, the way he carries himself, that's exactly what he is behind closed doors. So it's pretty cool to have that with Seth. He's definitely the kid that all of his brothers and sisters call for advice or help. It would be call Seth and figure it out. And last thing is he's single. Wiggle the eyebrows. Okay. All right. So Seth, welcome
Hello,
to my
Mother.
humble studio of kitchen table and Josh's used tablet. That's
It's
what
looking good.
It's looking good, and not as good as your office because I've been to your office.
I've been working on that for a long time. This is your first episode, so you'll get there.
Yeah, that's true. He's got an awesome office. The color is cool. He's got the green screens and the lights and the umbrellas and the computer, so it's pretty professional over there. But yeah, Seth's been doing that for many, many years. All right, so Seth, what I'm thinking is, how about you start just by telling us where you've lived over the years. You're 40 years old, so just give us an idea. You don't have to give us address, but basically what your journey has looked like. And I'm going to start with, he was born in Geneva General Hospital. He lived there for 3 days. Okay.
I didn't even know that, so that's
There you
that's
go.
good. So grew up in Savannah, right, where we kind of all grew up, and lived there all the way through high school, and then finished high school, moved out to Colorado for a couple of years, maybe 3 years, I don't know, something like that, for a few years. Then came back to New York, lived in Canandaigua.
Yeah.
I think I came back to Savannah for a little bit, right, when I came back from Colorado. And then Canandaigua for a while, and then Savannah, and now I kind of live around the corner from, which is technically still Savannah.
Well, you moved to Clyde.
Oh yeah, I moved to Clyde for a little bit. I forgot about
Savannah,
that.
Clyde.
Yeah,
Savannah.
kind of. They're all kind of the same.
Yeah,
but
kind of the same
between
area.
Clyde and Savannah for the last like 10 years or something.
All right, and so now where you're living now is actually your own home. You found a home and you purchased it. How do you like that home?
I like it.
Do you?
Yeah, it's perfect for me.
It is
it's
perfect.
like a little house where I don't have too much I got to take care of. So it's just me and the dog, which is panting in the background, and the accidental cat that refuses to leave. So.
Exactly. Well, I'd like to hear those stories actually. So how did you end up with Bearby? That's your big old dog.
Well, I wanted a dog. I couldn't have a dog the last place I lived because it was an apartment and they didn't have pets. So that was one of the first things I knew I was going to do once I got a house, was get a dog, and I ended up getting Bear. It worked out that Josh, one of my other brothers, had dogs that had puppies, so I got one of the puppies, and he ended up being a big one. He's a very, very nice, very big Rottweiler.
He's like 175
Yeah,
pounds,
he's
right?
huge,
He's
yeah.
huge, and he's the sweetest dog ever. You'd be scared if
You're
you
a
looked
good
at
boy,
him.
aren't you? Yeah.
He's super, super sweet. He's got Saf's personality all the way around. Seriously, it's crazy.
Yeah, so that one was intentional. I wanted the dog. The cat snuck in through the dog door, apparently. Lived inside a couch that had a hole in it because Bear bit a hole in the couch when he was chewing on things when he was a puppy. Lived in there for a few days until it started to smell like cat pee in the house. And then I figured out something was going on. And then we found the cat, and the cat was actually like oddly nice too. It wasn't like some wild feral cat, and I kind of figured she put so much effort into getting in there, I might as well let her stay. So now I have a cat. I don't even really like cats, but I have a cat.
You let her stay. And what did you name her?
Oh, Cece for couch cat.
Couch.
And honestly, like, the couch is still her favorite spot. Now that she's settled in and been there a couple of years, that same couch is where she likes to sleep and hang out. So maybe it's the couch she likes more than me.
Well, thanks for letting her stay because I think she's a sweet girl.
Yeah.
All right, so for the people that don't know, you're MTG content creator. That's your occupation. You spend hours and hours a week. You're very good at what you do. What is that? How did you get into it? What do you do?
Oh, well, kind of accidentally, I guess. But so MTG, it's a game. So I mostly do like YouTube videos and podcasts and streams. Mostly about the game. So it's something that's just, and also like some website stuff and like management stuff, like the boring kind of stuff. But so it's kind of a mixture of things, but mostly making content, videos, and so forth.
Yeah, and you actually got into it. I think you started by doing just financial statistics and stuff over the cards in the game. It wasn't even...
Yeah, people, I guess if you don't really know Magic, it's like it's a card game, and it's where you get like, you can buy cards in packs or whatever, and the cards, some of them are pretty expensive, so that's kind of what got me into it at first, was actually like buying and selling the cards as a way to make extra money while I was going to college and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of got me into it at first. So that's kind of how I started, was like just writing stuff and posting online about like the values of different things, and it ended up kind of going from there.
And here you are today.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I think the first thing I did for MTG Goldfish, the place I work at, it'll be 10 years ago, I think, in November or something. So it's almost been 10 years now, yeah.
Well,
which is pretty good, I guess,
yeah,
for YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's still going strong. So that's impressive. Good job, Seth.
Aww.
Okay, now I want Seth, I need you to zone in.
Okay.
I need you to zone in on the period of time. It was a short period of time, just a few years, that you actually lived here in the country with your single mom and a whole bunch of brothers and sisters. So let's kind of digest that for a minute, okay? Go back to that period of time. I'm just wondering, can you give me just some thoughts about that time? What was that experience like for you?
I mean, overall, it was enjoyable. I had a bunch of like younger brothers who were like growing up and playing basketball and stuff. So there was a lot of fun aspects of it. Also, a lot of annoying little brothers who were never safe to walk around a corner without someone punching you, or who knows, stuff that I think is very fun when you're also a teenager and you do with each other, but kind of annoying when you're like 20 something and your little brother's doing it. But yeah, so overall it was good.
And you were trying to work while you were here.
I think I was finishing school at first and then working. So yeah, I was doing other stuff. Working is, that was, and also like the internet here is really bad. So the combination of having like a million people around and working, like you kind of see that even just you starting to do a podcast where you're texting everyone and like, no one come in my house for a half hour for this podcast. So yeah, it's a challenge when there's a lot of people around.
Yeah. All right. Well, can you tell us about Waterman of the Week? When you lived here, you started something called Waterman of the Week. What was that about, Seth?
I think I started that to try to get the boys to stop punching me so much, as a way to rank, the little brothers and sisters based on how annoying or not annoying they'd been in the last week, basically.
So the winner was the one that annoyed you the most or annoyed you the least?
No, I think annoyed the least for the week was the winner, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Actually, maybe you remember better than I do. You think it was the other way?
I just remember Noah winning a lot, and that would tell me that
it was definitely the other way then.
The one who annoyed you the most.
Yeah. It must have been that way.
And every week he'd give us the Waterman of the Week update, so that was a fun one. All right. Then you came to a point when you realized, I'm ready to move out. The internet here sucks. I'm working full-time online. It's way too freaking noisy here. The house is super small. You're in this little teeny bedroom, and you're like, I have to go find a place where I can move forward. And so where was that place? Where did you end up going?
So ended up being in Clyde, an apartment there that was above a funeral home, actually.